Yeah. Yeah, Democrats are pretty stupid, aren't they? So, what we're going to do is we are going to march onto the town. We're just going to start throwing toilet paper on all those Democrats that are having their little strike against Donald Trump. And just hold on one second. Yes. Yes. Oh, yeah. I hate Republicans. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What we're going to do is we are going to march against Trump at the White House. We are going to destroy him. So remember, 8 o'clock tonight. Okay, hold on. Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight. Okay. All right. So you guys ready too? This is the middle of the road politics. Yeah, we got to march against the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm talking about breaking windows and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll see you soon. I'm sorry I had to do this quick. It's just been crazy. All right. Bye. Oh, it's on again. I'm actually not ashamed to have you all hear that. I really just like to cause chaos. I do chaos on all sides as much as I can possibly cause. But it is almost Christmas and New Year's, and these are going to be some of the last episodes I make. Actually, the next episode, it might be the last one I do. I might just say Merry Christmas to you all. I had some stuff I wanted to do, and I can't imagine a bigger way of doing this than doing a video about my favorite film of all time, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. And also there's Muppets. So The Lord of the Rings Return of the King recently became my favorite film. And it was something I had to really think about. I was like, do I like it better than Modern Times? I had to admit, there's a lot of spectacle in Modern Times. But there's a lot of spectacle in Return of the Kings too. And at the end of the day, I thought to myself, I gotta go with Return of the King. It was so, I mean, it's not even just because it was important to my life. It's just a really good film with the acting. I'll even argue, um, to my dying day, that all the CGI holds up. Of course, the music, everything. It was a movie where everything went right, and yeah. So I'm not saying it is the greatest film ever. I don't know what that is, but there's a good argument to be made for it, and it's also one of those films where it got to the top of Mount Everest first. Maybe there's other films that do it better, but Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King got up on the top first, and they got popular, and that's how it goes sometimes in this business of storytelling. It's sad in a way because I'm sure a lot of people put a lot more thought into their stories or whatever, but it is true. So we're gonna get ready here. I am so excited though. This is my favorite film, and I really hope to do a good job, especially with the Muppets. We're gonna have fun at the very least. Uh, I hope it only takes 2 hours. It might end up taking longer. I don't know. Maybe it'll take a shorter amount of time. But this is something for you all to listen to in your cars and enjoy, have a little fun. It's meant to be fun. I don't know. I like listening to stuff like this in my cars sometimes. So hopefully some of you out there will too. I know I do. And I've really enjoyed this whole project. It's going to be very sad for me to say goodbye to this. This has been one of my favorites. I wish I could do more with it, but I really don't want to do the Hobbits movies. It just feels so unnecessary, and I don't want to do it. I mean, I was willing to do the original Star Wars prequels, but it's just different. It's different with those. The Hobbit stories it's too much, and I wouldn't even know how I do it with Granddaddy Frog, a character that's not even a real Muppet character. So this will be the end. Maybe we'll do Harry Potter one day with something else. I haven't decided yet. I would like to do Harry Potter. I'm not making any promises, but I don't know how I'd do it. I have to really think about that. Maybe with Popeye characters. No, that's not a good idea. But this is exciting. I'm really nervous, but really excited. And again, I have a lot, and this is maybe the last video of the year. So let us begin The Muppets, The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Gotta make sure everything's going okay here. Make sure I'm actually here. I don't see myself, which is not good. Can't imagine I'm not there, though. I have to be. It's showing up on here. There I am. Okay, I was going to say. Sorry. Don't mean to waste any of your all's time. Go ahead and get the share stream up and begin. Google Gemini share. All right, the end. Now, so make sure that you can see me there too. I think you can. You should be able to. Yeah, I'd say so. Okay. And please feel free to comment. Tell me if you have an idea that's better than mine with what to do with the Muppets and how to do this story, what character a Muppet should be, whatever it is, please let me know. I really do want to hear your input, whether you think I'm doing something dumb, if you have a funny joke, think that, you have something that would be better than what I come up with, please tell me. I really want to hear it. And I want to hear if I make a mistake, if I'm mispronouncing something, please tell me. I love to know if I'm doing something wrong and to correct it. So, yeah, absolutely. Please. But anyways, let's keep going. So, Rowlf the Dog, Gandalf, played by Ian McKellen, of course. So, Honeydew, if you're new to this, I don't know why you show up on this one, but if you are new to this, Honeydew and Beaker are Gimli and Legolas. Honeydew being Gimli and Beaker being Legolas. I know Honeydew's probably not the best Gimli, but I guess just because of the technology side, how he comes up with like tools is really the reason why I chose him for Gimli. He's probably not the best Gimli, but it does work, and he's such a big Muppet. I mean, Honeydew and Beaker may be my favorite Muppets. I think so, yeah. They're really funny. Yeah, I'd say so. I don't care how many times Beaker says meep. I always laugh at it. Every single time. It should not be that funny, but it is. I'm sure it would eventually get tiring, but man, it takes a long time. That meep is very funny. Okay, we'll make sure it knows that it's doing Rowlf the Dog. You are now the character of Rowlf. Same thing as before. Let's continue the story. Rowlf the Dog, Gandalf, Honeydew, and Beaker head to the Tower of Waldorf and Statler. Arriving, they find the place in ruins. Big Bird, the giant who is Treebeard, walks up to them. He says that Waldorf and Statler have been making fun of them. They are making fun of them. They are doing their best to clean out I guess we'll just call it Isengard. I'm not a big fan on puns like that on the locations' names. It just seems desperate. Rowlf the Dog, you. Let's put down Rowlf so it knows. Rowlf are doing your best not to jump up and bite this stick. Hand of Big Bird. Such a weird... It's weird that I'm doing this, though, even though I am enjoying it. You come to the tower. Waldorf and Statler stare down at the two of you. All right, now we're coming up with jokes. Stare down at the group of you. Wow, this is a stinker movie, says Waldorf. Oh, yeah, says Statler. You yell up, "Hey, guys! You must have found the beginning. You must have found the part with the Balrog. With the Cookie Monster. Scary, at least." "Oh, yeah," says Walter. "I had to cover my hat." "Oh, yeah," says Walter. Wait, Walter's the character from Jeff Dunham. I get those two confused so much. "Oh, yeah," says Waldorf. "The part with the Cookie Monster was scary. I had to cover my hands over my eyes." And Statler says, "Really? That's how I watched the whole movie." Ho, 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 ho. Gotta write that down. Hold on. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. "I found that part scary. I had to cover my eyes over with my hand." "Really?" says Waldorf. "That's how I watched the whole movie." Ian McKellen. We'll just call him Gandalf. Gandalf looks up. What other joke should I do? Let me think of something. Yeah, I got it. Okay. "Hey, we had the audience glued to their seat." "Of course you did," says Statler. "How else would you get them to watch the movie?" Ho, 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 ho. I've got a lot of these, to be honest. I don't know. It just happens naturally. That's probably been done before. I swear I don't know if that has ever been said by Walter and Statler. It could have been. All these could have been, but I don't know of it happening. All right, what's another good one? Oh, I got it. "You must have found some parts scary," says Rowlf. "Well, I do remember Trimps shaking in my seat at one part," says Waldorf. "No," says Statler. "That was just a tremor of all the audience leaving." Ho, 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 ho. "That was just the tremor of all the audience." Sorry, I have to write it too. "Leaving." I want the AI to know I'm funny too. That's the thing. All right, can I come up with any more? Oh, geez, I don't know. Those three were pretty good. Yeah, I think I should just leave it on 3. 3 is a good number. Do you have any jokes? Have any jokes you think Waldorf and Statler said about the film? See if it can do better than me. Yeah, okay. See if it does better than the jokes that I came up with. Exploring comedy casting. The view from the ruins of Isengard. Rolf leans back on his haunches, scratching behind one floppy ear. The sight of Waldorf and Statler heckling from the balcony of the high towers, the most normal thing I've seen since this whole journey started. Honestly, I'm just glad Big Bird didn't accidentally sit on them, though that might have improved the acoustics. You know, I bark up at the balcony, most people just leave a bad review in the newspaper. You two actually built an industrial fortress just to complain. That's dedication. Dedication? Statler yells back. I call it a tragedy. I've seen better acting in a pet shop window. And at least the pets eventually go home. Waldorf acts. We're stuck in the sequel. Okay. Let's see what else it does. Let's see what else. Statler. They call it the Fellowship of the Rings. Waldorf. Yeah, because after 5 minutes of watching them, I'm fellowship wrecked. Ho ho ho. Oh, mine are better. Let's see if we can find one good one that it did. I just came up with that, AI. You can do better. You can do better. Please tell me you did better. I will say the glue one might have already been done. I can't remember for sure. As far as I know, it hasn't. Look at the keen. He's a dog. Well, that explains the movie. It's a real bow wow. No. These are bad. Jokes are hard to do, though. I will give it that. I have spent years perfecting my craft. No. Sorry, I don't want to say these. They're pretty rough. That's not too bad. I like the part where they walk through the woods. Me too. It means they were getting closer to the exit. Ho ho ho! All right. Rowlf growls playfully. We get it. We're a disaster. But we've got a world to save and a frog to find. Gandalf, are we going to stand here and take this? Or are we going to find that Palantir thingy Big Bird was talking about? That's right. Gandalf looks down and sees the Palantir in the water. He picks it up. Just then, Gonzo and Rizzo arrive. Gonzo walks up to Rowlf and hugs him, as does Rizzo. So good to see the two of you alive, yells Rowlf. Gonzo and Rizzo tell them everything. Then they all head to, You know what? Let's keep them in Isengard. That's how it happened in the original. Then they all head to a tower. As they are all lying asleep, you hear a loud noise. As you are all lying asleep, we're just going to follow Rowlf. Maybe eventually we'll follow Gonzo. You run in and find that Gonzo is staring into the Palantir. He is screaming. His hair stands on the top of his head. His head, you want to throw cotton balls at it. He flies through the air. Gandalf awakens. You fool, says Gandalf. He throws a blanket over the Palantir. Are you all right? Gonzo lays in an ashen heap. Yeah. He honks. Okay, so, Rowlf, you decide. You now must decide. Let's see what it must decide what is to be done with Gonzo and Rizzo as punishment. Considering the casting. The morning after the magic bowling ball incident. All right. Gee, Gonzo, I say, my voice a low, gravelly rumble. I've seen you do some pretty harebrained stunts, but staring into the bins is usually a solo act. You didn't even have a lightning cue. Gandalf is pacing, his robes swishing angrily. He's mumbling about fools and tookishness and contractual obligation. It looks like he's about to turn Gonzo into a very small blue umbrella. Gonzo, I say, since you're so eager to be the center of attention, you're going with Gandalf. He's heading to the White City to warn them that the critics are coming. You're going to be his distraction. If Sauron is looking for a hobbit, he'll be so confused by a blue whatever you are that it might buy Kermit some time. I turn to Rizzo. And you, Rizzo, you're staying with me. We've got a war to prep for, and I need someone to help me find a piano that hasn't been used as a battering ram. This is a very weird sentence from AI, isn't it? Where did that come from? I guess it's trying to be funny. Wait! Gonzo honks, standing up and shaking off the suit. You mean I get to ride a giant horse, go to a massive white city, and be at the center of a historical sage? Yeah, Gonzo, I sigh. That is your punishment. This is the best day of my life, he yells, grabbing his cape. All right. You are easily able to convince Dr. Teeth. To go to Gondor. Your entire group. We're going to have to skip the scene of the torches and stuff. We will follow Gonzo eventually. I want to right now follow. I think we're just going to do the same thing we did last time with the two towers. I mean, we're going to be pushing for time. This might end up being a 3-hour thing. I hope not. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it, but I don't know if you all would like that. We'll see. We'll see how the computer will have enough battery for it. I'm hoping. Okay, we'll see. I mean, if we have to, we'll cut it into 2 parts. I don't know. Your entire group heads off. Oh, okay. All right, we'll just let AI do its thing now. Mapping out allies. The tour bus to Gondor. Rowlf trots along the dusty road, his ears flopping in the wind. Convincing Dr. Teeth was the easiest part of this old quest. Now the road is filled with the sound of the Electric Mayhem's bus as Beaker and Honeydew try to calibrate a spectro ghost finder. Oh, that's a good idea. Using a magnifying glass and a stale bagel. Solid choice, Rowlf, baby, Dr. Teeth shouts from the driver's seat. The vibrations in the south are reaching a heavy crescendo. We're going to play a set that'll wake the dead. I hope not literally, I mutter, because that's actually on my to-do list. Listen, Dr. Teeth, I need you to keep the moral up. Put something with a heavy bass line. Helps the hoops keep time. Bunsen, keep working on that ghost finder. We're going to need it. I feel the weight of my lineage. I'm not just a dog with a piano anymore. I'm the guy who has to tell a bunch of spooky glowing Muppet ghosts that their contract isn't over yet. Rizzo, stay sharp. I need you to sniff out any trouble or any snacks preferably both. Okay, everyone, keep your heads down and your spirits up. We're heading into the mountains, and I hear the local resident haven't had a visitor or a shower in 1,000 years. All right, so I was thinking about the ghost, and I decided I believe that they should be human. I thought about it for a long time. We need some more humans, is the truth. The only one right now is Eowyn and Gandalf, and I know there's going to be background actors and stuff, but yeah, uh, we're going to make the Keen of the Ghost a human, and the other ghost just Ghost. It's really not because I can't come up with any other Muppets to use. There's plenty of Muppets. You could find a ghost from some of the early days and just put it in there. I really think that it should be a human as the main lead. That is the problem with this. I found doing this, and I've had a lot of fun, of course, but and I do like choosing a Muppet for the human character, but I do admit it's hard not to go crazy with it. It's hard not to just do Muppets. I don't really want to do like the humans all that much, except I'm fine with Gandalf being played by Ian McKellen. But like, I know the actress who played Eowyn would be willing to come back to play this. And both of them, Gandalf and Eowyn, because they have stated in the past how much they love doing it. And Eowyn was in War of the Rohirrim, so I'm sure she'd be willing to do a Muppets version. You decide to head in. We're going to just try to be quick. Actually, when you think about it, this storyline is not that long, so we might be able to get this done quick. Head into the mountains. As you go, the three of you walk down through the dark tunnel. Honeydew is trying to detect ghosts. The beeping is going off constantly. We must be getting close, says Honeydew. This equipment is going off like mad. Meep, meep, says Pico. Says Pico. So what else? You. All right, what should I do for Ghost? That's a joke. You know that the ghosts here in the mountain are doomed to follow your command. Since you are the true Keen of Gondor. And if it doesn't work... No, it will work. It'll work, Rowlf. It'll work. Finally, you come to the Ghost Keen's crown. Keen throne. The Ghost Keen... Yeah, human. Wants you to convince him... Ah, darn it. All right, well, let's see what it says now. That happens a lot where you click it and it goes and then it... Yeah. I do that a lot. I don't know why it is. I think it's just the way that the keys are laid out, I guess. Happens to me quite a lot. How's everyone doing over here? Everyone good? I can see there's somebody here. I don't blame it. I know it's late. Yeah, it's December, Christmas time. I do have to admit I'm getting excited that we're almost at 950. Oh, you know what? That would be a great idea. John Cleese is the ghost. The air in the cave is thicker than a bad plot twist. Honeydew's spectro ghost finder's making a noise like a microwave popcorn bag that's been in too long. Beaker is currently vibrating so hard I'm worried his head is going to unscrew itself. Now, Beaker, Honeydew says, adjusting his glasses, which are glowing green from the interference. This is a marvelous opportunity to study the semi-permeable nature of the post-mortal Muppet state. Beep, 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 beep! Beaker points a shaking finger towards the throne. The ghost Keen a human is sitting there, looking remarkably like John Cleese. He looks bored, translucent, and incredibly annoyed that someone has interrupted his 1,000-year nap. The ghost Keen stands up. Oh, for heaven's sake. I wait 3,000 years for the true King of Gondor to release us from our contract, and who shows up? A golden retriever with a flea collar, and 2 scientists who look like they're looking for a bathroom. I step forward. I'm Rowlf, son of... Well, let's just say I've got the papers to prove I'm the Keen. I'm not here for a flea treatment. I'm here to hold you to your word. I pull out the sword Andoril, which I've been carrying in a very sturdy mouth grip holster. The blade glows with a sharp white light that makes the Ghost King squint. Remember this! It was forged from the shards of the sword that cut the ring off the hand of the guy. Sauron, your debt is to the Keen, and I'm the one holding the leash. Look, Keeny, you've been stuck in this cave for ages. It's damp. You help us take down Sauron's army at the White City, and we'll make things work for you. Actually, if you could just step into this vacuum-sealed containment unit for a moment, I could measure your ectoplasmic density. Meep! Beaker tries to pull Bunsen back as the Ghost King's eyes begin to glow with a terrifying, frustrated light. Rowlf looks at them all. Come on! He says, aren't you tired of the same old ghostly antics? Flickering lights. Go and boo all the time. No, I don't like that. Flickering lights. Making scary noises. And then never even killing anyone. Well, let's do some actual damage on Mordor. The Ghost King thinks about this. It's true that he hasn't really done any true scary things. He looks down at Honeydew. Can I ask something? Where does this, he says, where does this guy's eyes come in? I mean, there's no eyes behind the glasses. But he's wearing glasses. How does this work? All right, let's see what it says. How does it think Honeydew's glasses work? Conceptualizing the recruitment. The mystery of the silent. Bunsen adjusts his glasses, which, to be fair, are resting on a perfectly smooth, eyeless yellow face. He looks delighted. A fascinating query, your special majesty. You see, it's a matter of ocular osmosis. My glasses aren't for seeing, therefore filtering reality into a format my brain can process. Oh, geez, that is way more complicated than I was thinking. As for the eyes, they're actually located in a higher dimension of physics. that prevents the light of this world from blinding my sheer genius. Beep, beep. Look, Keeny, you think his face is confusing? Wait until you see the guy with the hooked nose who thinks he's a turkey. The point is, if you come with us, you won't have to worry about how things work. You just have to worry about making the other guys stop working permanently. You know, the sheer psychological horror of a man with glasses and no eyes is more terrifying than anything I've come up with since the Second Age, says the Ghost King. I like your style, Dog King. It's a deal. Finally, a gig that isn't just rattling chains in a hallway, says a ghost. All right, boys. Dr. Teeth is waiting outside with the bus. We've got a city to save, a white tree to water, and Sauron to defeat. Let me just tell it that it's Sauron. It keeps thinking it's Waldorf and Statler for some reason. Sauron is the enemy now. Waldorf and Statler are defeated. I was always okay with Saruman just being in prison. Never thought that was a big deal. I know a lot of people that weren't happy with that. I think it worked. I mean, that's what happened to the Joker in The Dark Knight. A lot of movies. It's like I don't get it. He went to prison. I mean, Saruman was punished. What more do you need? Maybe some people just wanted to see him one last time, but then like I don't know. I don't get it myself personally. I never had that complaint. I'm perfectly fine with what they did with Saruman. I think it was really the only thing they could do. So you head out with the ghost. Soon enough, you reach the city. The Ghost King looks down at Meep. Oh, sorry. It's not Meep, it's Beaker. But he's really Meep, let's all face it. Remember, says the Ghost King, if you don't fulfill your deal, we'll make sure you all are part of the Ghost Army too. Wait a minute, says Honeydew. Would that mean that we could all just, kill every bad guy as Ghost in Middle-earth? How does all this work? Wait, says Honeydew. If we became Ghost, could we kill all the villains in Middle-earth? How does all this work? And the Ghost King would be like, well, we were a part of the King's deal. That was the whole thing. And he could be like, well, the King's just right there. So why can't he just curse us again, make us ghosts? That's something I never got. Why didn't Aragorn just kill all the people of Rohan and make them all ghosts, and then they all could have just killed off all the bad guys in Middle-earth, and there wouldn't have been any bad guys. And they wouldn't have to worry about fulfilling that ghost deal or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe Aragorn didn't know how it worked. The Ghost King doesn't answer. We'll end it at that. I've already said the joke. Soon, I like to write down these jokes, but I do recognize you all are listening, so I do want to head on to the next thing. You come to Gondor. There the armies of Rohan are already battling the forces of Sauron, who will be played by a human. I think Sauron has to be played. You could make him a puppet. I think some parts of it should be a puppet, but for the majority of the parts, it should be a human. That also helps balance out the Muppet human ratio a little better. The main villain is not a Muppet. Maybe the eye could be a Muppet. I would allow that. I could see that. Snuffleupaguses. are storming the people, smashing them to pieces one by one. You and your ghost army, who conveniently are going to kill the only thing that could stop these villains. Ride out and destroy the ghosts. Oh, ride out and destroy the armies of Mordor. Talk a little about the battle. Done being creative. Let it do it. Ooh, this will be interesting. How will it have the battle against the Snuffleupaguses? Because in this world, there's a bunch of Snuffleupaguses, and they're all out to kill you. That would be a good horror movie, just a Snuffleupagus horror movie. I could see a Sesame Street horror film. I never really, I don't dislike Sesame Street or anything, but I've never enjoyed it all that much compared to like the Muppets. I just never liked Elmo. I took a lot of pleasure in those videos of people destroying Elmo. He's fine. I don't know. Don't hate me in the comments. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Sesame Street. I'm sorry. The pirate ship slams against the docks of Harlem. I don't think Harlund. Honeydew is still frantically scribbling notes about voluntary ghostification as we run. Meep, 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 yells Beaker as he begins to kill off the gloats and all the monsters of Mordor. The city of Minas Tirith is a mess, fire everywhere, rumble falling, and most terrifyingly, the Snuffleupaguses have arrived. These aren't the cuddly friends from the street. They are massive armored tusked behemoths of fur and furry, stomping through the lines of Gondor's soldiers like they're made of Legos. The Ghost King doesn't bother with ladders or gates. He just waves a translucent hand, and the green tide of spirits sweep across the battlefield. They don't just fight, they permeate. They throve through the orcs who drop their weapons and run away screaming. No, we're not going to say that joke. The massive Snuffleupaguses are the real problems. They're too big to ignore. I borked the order to the Ghost King. Target the big fuzzy ones! Tickle them if you have to! Just bring them down! The ghosts swarm up the legs of the giant creatures. It's a surreal sight. The Snuffleupaguses start sneezing and giggling hysterically as the spectral army passes through their thick fur. One particularly large snuffy troop. I'm right in the thick of it, biting the ankles of Sauron's generals and swinging my glowing sword with my paws. I see Scooter and the riders of Rohan. They look exhausted and covered in soot, but their eyes light up when they see a dog leading an army of glowing Muppets. Is that Rowlf? Scooter gasped, leaning on his spears. And he brought the whole army with him. The battlefield is a chaotic blur of green ghosts, flying fur, and pyrotechnic drum solos. The forces of Mordor are being absolutely shredded. And we will call it a victory. So now, should I switch over to, I think I should. Let's switch over to Gonzo. Now we are switching. Wait. I will say this. I think that at this moment, Honeydew would be like, so like, why can the ghost use their, like, how can the ghost use their swords and kill the monsters if they just go through things and their swords go through things? So like, is there a little space where the sword exists and is solid? And if so, why aren't the ghosts always? I'm so confused. I think we all are confused by the Ghost Army. It's very convenient, I will admit. That whole thing, it's done very well. It doesn't feel convenient. Even when the Ghost Army arrives, it's not like immediately they win. It's like a slow build up to their victory. But let us go to Gonzo. Now we switch to Gonzo. Rizzo. Oh, I'll make sure it knows. Back in time to when he left with Gandalf. Rizzo walks up to you. You're always making trouble. Gonzo? Says Rizzo. I don't know why you have to be such a turkey. Do you think I'll survive? Says Gonzo. I don't know, says Rizzo. But I hope so. I'll miss you, Gonzo. The two of you hug. Gandalf grabs hold of you. Come on, to Minas Tirith we go. It was Minas Tirith, sorry, to Gondor. The two of you ride to Gondor, the wind whipping across your giant nose. It flops to and fro like a wiener. Sorry, no. A hot dog, yeah. Flops to and fro. Soon you come to Gondor, the White City. The two of you head up to the top cat tower. There you find, who should it be? Who should it be? Pepe the Prawn, the most sexiest shrimp alive. He is, oh gosh, the ruler of Gondor. What is his name oh gosh, it's horrible that I forgot this. How are you all doing, by the way? Everyone doing good here? Any comments, any disagreements about some of the stuff I've done? Or does everyone think I'm doing great? All right. He is the ruler of Gondor. He sits on his iron throne. Gandalf reminds you not to talk. Just not to talk. Better if you say nothing at all. Why, Gandalf? Says Pepe. My son, Sam the Eagle, is dead. Gandalf walks up. There will be time to grieve for Sam, he says. But right now, there are gloats and orcs and many other things to worry about. Pepe throws his mug at Gandalf. I decide what to worry about. And who is this you've brought with you? He points his finger at you. What do you say? All right, let's see what Gonzo will say. Considering silly casting. Oh no, Pepe. I do think Pepe the shrimp or Pepe the prawn. I'm sorry, he does not like to be called a shrimp. It is Pepe the prawn. Would be a good choice for. Gosh, the name's leaving me. I know what it is though. Faramir, Boromir. Oh gosh, why did I forget? I just looked at this. I like this character, the King of Gondor, or the Steward of Gondor, in the book a lot. I thought it was done better in the book, but I will say I thought the movie had an interesting spin on it. It's not as good as the book, but it is a good character. Definitely good enough for this film. Pepe the Prawn looks tiny on that massive iron throne, his little legs dangling off the edge. I am Gonzo the Great, your prawnness, daredevil, performance artist, and world-renowned connoisseur of the strange and unusual. I am the whatever who has seen the fire of the mountain and lived to tell the tale. I'm sorry about Sam the Eagle. He was a very stiff, brave Muppet. He defied defending the little guys from a bunch of orcs. He went out with a very patriotic harumph, and I think you should be proud. Listen, Pepe, your majesty, I know you're sad, but the orcs are coming and they don't have a permit for a parade. That was bad. That was bad AI. Gandalf face palms so hard his hat wobbles. Okay, that's kind of funny. I like that image. Pepe seems to like you. You soon become his servant. Gandalf, meanwhile, is trying to get the army to be on his side. Pepe is going a little crazy. And most of the soldiers are eager for a new ruler. Soon, Walter arrives. He has been out fighting. Gloats. He drops into the city. You run up to him. He mentions that Gonzo is not the first person of the Shire he's seen. He then explains. It's worrying me about. I don't know how this thing is so low. He then explains. I met Kermit and Fozzie. They were these two hobbits. Oh, they were so cool. They ended up accidentally leaving. I think they got confused. I mean, we were going to play games and stuff, but I didn't have time and stuff. I didn't have time, and they didn't have time, and it just didn't work. But maybe they'll come back. You can tell that Walter is a crazed fan. He seems to want to hang with you. Pepe comes up and begins hitting Walter. Ow! Ow! He yells. Just then, you all hear loud noises. The gloats are arriving. They begin throwing. They begin shooting things out of their catapults, things out of their cantaloupes, or catapults. What should they shoot out? Mostly garbage. You and Gandalf do your best to stand strong. Talk about the fight between you and these creatures. All right, let's see what AI says. The air of Minas Tirith doesn't smell like victory. Look out, Gandalf! They're using the leftovers of doom! Pepe is still swatting at Walter with all four arms. Take that, okay? And that! Stop talking about the frog and the bear. I am king of the prawns! Gandalf is standing on the battlement, switching his staff to deflect incoming piles of old sock and rotten produce. I, Gonzo the Great, have never felt more at home. To the ghosts, this is psychological warfare. To me, it's an all-you-can-eat supply of props. Oh, that's good. I like that. Gonzo would be eating the garbage. I don't just hide. I find a nearby cantaloupe that's supposed to launch rocks, but I convince the soldiers to let me redecorate the ammunition. Soldiers of Gondor, don't just throw stones. Throw flaming tubs of custard. It's stickier, it's humiliated, and it provides a lovely dessert for the survivors. I don't use a sword. I use a giant spring-loaded boxing glove. Boing! I knock a gloat right off the wall. Some of these are dumb. You watch the battle. So this is how it happened in the original book, I believe. Pippin just sat and watched all the fighting. You watch the battle. You see it all. The Gondor army fighting off the invaders. The arrival of Rohan. Dr. Teeth charging on the armies of darkness. I think we'll just skip the Witch King because I don't really want to go through Rizzo. You even see Rico. Is it Rico? Or yeah. Stabbing gloats. Stabbing gloat by gloat. And then the ghost army arrives with Rowlf. Soon, the armies of Mordor are defeated. All right, so that's the victory. You are proud of the triumph. The group of you all, I know I didn't kill Pepe, but I don't really think, you might have noticed in this that I haven't really been killing off Muppets. I feel like that's against what the Muppets are. The idea of killing Pepe seems wrong to me. I will say it would be funny, but I'm not really the biggest. If you guys want me to, I will. I mean, if you want me to start killing off Muppets, it would be funny. It's different when it's like, I am trying to actually make this. This is just, right now, this is just a blueprint of what I would do if I did have the power to make a Muppets Lord of the Rings, which will never happen. I'm afraid it's almost impossible. But it's a blueprint. So I'm just seeing if you all like the ideas and what we could do to improve it, maybe. Maybe we could all work together as a group. That's kind of what I was thinking. and create like the greatest Muppets Lord of the Rings movie ever imagined, like just as perfect as you could want. But anyways, are proud the group of you all gather together to discuss how you will defeat Sauron. The ghost have all been returned to the spirit world by Rowlf. Pepe the Prawn has decided to join your force, has decided to stop being so difficult. So difficult. After all, he likes grabbing hold of your nose and honking it. I don't know. So, what do you all decide? Let's see what AI decides that these all will decide. I mean, I think there's really only one thing you can do. March against Mordor, even though there's absolutely no chance of winning, and try to win, man. I, Gonzo the Great, stand on the balcony of the White City. The smoke is clearing, the ghosts are gone, and the city is saved from the great garbage invasion. My nose is a little sore from Pepe the Prawn using it like a bicycle horn. But my heart is full of fire. Okay, listen up, everybody, Pepe shouts, standing on a pile of rubble and adjusting his tiny crown. We have won the battle, but we have not won the movie, okay? The giant eye in the sky is looking for the frog and the bear. Rowlf trots up, shaking some soot off his fur. He's right. Kermit and Fozzie are crawling through the ashes out there, and if Sauron looks down, they're frog legs and bear and a stuffed bear. We need a distraction. Something big, something loud, something unprofessional. We gather around a map of Mordor that someone, probably Walter, has annotated with starring Kermit stickers. It's a little cute. We must Gandalf's strategic vision. We must march to the Black Gate. We must draw out the armies of Mordor and fix the eye of Sauron upon us. We shall be the bait in the world's most dangerous trap. Gonzo's stunt proposal. A suicide mission to a giant spiky gate? It's the role I was born to play. We'll provide the backup, baby. We'll set up the amplifiers on the front line. I will lead the army, okay? Says Pepe. But I want a very small horse. And no more garbage. They throw one more salad at me. I'm quitting the fellowship. Rowlf's final words. Well, Gonzo, this is it. The final act. I hope that frog knows what he's doing. Don't worry, Rowlf, I say, checking the tension on my cantaloupe. Kermit has the ring, but we have the talent. To the Black Gate. And so you all march to the Black Gate of Mordor. Soon you have arrived. And the armies of gloats begin pouring out. You all look at each other. Rowlf, oh, I gotta have the AI do the speech, though. Rowlf decides to give a speech to the armies, to your army. What does he say? I've noticed AI is really good at speeches. It's surprisingly really good. Like this, it's not good at jokes. Jokes are hard to do. And even AI, I'm sure, would struggle with it. Lord knows I struggled with it. I mean, I'd like to think now I'm pretty good at it. But, yeah, man, it is tough to make jokes quickly. Rowlf looks back at the shivering shoulders of Gondor, the exhausted riders of Rohan and his fellow Muppets. He clears his throat. Listen up, everyone. I'm not much for speeches. Usually, if I want to say something important, I put it to a ragtime beat and hope the audience is too distracted by the piano to notice I'm being sentimental. The critics said we never get past the first act. They said a frog, a bear, and a whatever didn't have the star power to save the world. Look at us now. We've survived Swamp's ghost, more bad jokes than a retirement home in the Catskills. Today, we aren't just fighting for a city or a throne. We're fighting so that somewhere, in a little hole in a mountain, a very tired green friend of ours can finish his scene. We are the distraction. We are the noise. And if we're going down with a standing ovation. Dr. Teeth, give me rhythm. Gonzo, prep the chickens. Soldiers of the Muppets Earth, it's time to play the music. It's time to light the lights. Charge! With a wild waka waka from Fozzie's distant spirit and a manic drum fill from... No. Rowlf leads the pack. Gonzo is launched from the catapult. The Electric Mayhem play a version of the theme song so loud it literally causes the ghosts' ears to flop over their eyes. The distraction is perfect. Above them, the great eye of Sauron swivels away from the slopes of Mount Droom, drawn to the sheer, beautiful absurdity of the Muppet army at his front door. All right, now we go to Kermit's story. Back in time. Yeah, there's a lot of time travel in this one, kind of. You, Kermit, obviously, are heading with Fozzie and Animal to Mount Doom. Animal is leading the way. The two of you don't know if you can trust him. Fozzie looks at you. Kermit the Frog, he says. What? We're about to die, probably. We're about to die. We might die from this travel. We might die from this travel. I have to ask you something. Why is your middle name The? Is that like French or something? Kermit looks at him. What? Fozzie says, why is your middle name The? Fozzie, my middle name's not The. It's Jerome. Oh, says Fozzie. Kermit continues looking at Fozzie. Have you all this time thought my middle name was The? We've known each other for years. We're going to Mount Doom. We're probably going to die. And all this time, you thought my middle name was The. Well, says Fozzie, I thought it was something like Winnie the Pooh or something like that. No, says Kermit. My middle name's not The. Jerome. Call me my real middle name. It's Jerome. Kermit looks back. He's realizing that Fozzie is not all that smart. He looks over at Animal. He's beginning to really, really understand Animal. All right, we'll just, you all heard the jokes, so. Looks at you. The three of you begin heading up the steps. Animal leads the way, shouting, Animal! Animal! I know he can say more, but yeah. Muppets have the tendency to say one word of dialogue, don't they? It's actually a pretty good idea. I really need to come up with more catchphrases for my characters. I never can think of anything. They've all been used up, I feel like. I've tried in the past. You might not have noticed, but Animal leads the way, shouting, "Animal, animal." As you head up the steps, you can't help but look down. You see the gloats leaving the city of Mordor. Sure, why not? I think it's Minas Mongol or something. Ungol. Minas Ungol. I don't care. I have a pretty good expertise of Tolkien stuff. I wouldn't call myself a great expert. When you think of people that actually learn Elvish and stuff, I am nowhere near to being at that level. But I like the Lord of the Rings. I know a lot of the lore, and I do admit to being sometimes confused by it. But I do also say, I feel like I can safely say I'm more aware of all the stuff going on with Middle Earth and Tolkien than you all probably realize. I've read quite a few biographies of J.R.R. Tolkien. I do know a good deal about him. So don't think that I'm not like an expert with this stuff. And the Muppets too. I mean, I do just like, well, I really like the Muppets quite a lot. I can't call myself a big fan because it wouldn't be like in the greatest things ever category for me. But I know a considerable amount about it. All right, you see the goats leaving the city of Mordor. You continue up with Fozzie and Animal. Kind of going through that again. This is a lot of exercise. You go up and up and up. All right. What else happens? Let's see what it says happens on the steps before we go and meet the spider, who honestly will just be a spider. I feel like there's quite a lot of big spiders. I think it might be, if I had to say a specific Muppet for the spider to be, I'd say maybe that Muppet that like eats the other Muppets all the time. He just like chows down on them, which is truly horrifying, by the way. But I also should probably have the news guy in this. We'll find a place for him. Animal, animal, yells Animal. Fozzie, I wheeze. Rowlf and the others, they're doing it. They're actually doing it. They're making a scene so we can slip through. Suddenly, Animal stops at the entrance of a massive cave. He turns around, his face twisting into a manic, desperate grin. Animal, leave! He shouts, but he's pointing into the tunnel. Kermit, go in. Fozzie, go in. Safe way. No orcs. No gloats. Only animals, friend. Fozzie looks at the tunnel and then at me. Kermit, I don't like the looks of this. It smells like, well, it smells like the bottom of a bird cage. I know Animal is hiding something. I can feel the ring pulsing, sensing its master nearby. But there is no other way. We have to go forward. I grab Fozzie's hands. We have to, Fozzie. If we turn back, we fail everyone. We just have to be careful. I reach into my pack and pull out the vial of Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy's perfume bottle. It's really shiny. It glows with a brilliant shimmering light that cuts through the oppressive gloom of the tunnel entrance. May this be a light for us in dark places, Fozzie, even if it does smell strong of lavender and divaness. We step into the tunnel. The air is still, too still. And then I see it. The webs. Thousands of them. Thick as ropes, crisscrossing the path. As we push deeper, Animal suddenly vanishes into the shadows. I can just see him kind of like staring straight at them and just going back into the shadows with his big eyes. Animal. We hear a skittering sound. Not the sound of the puppet, but the sound of many, many legs. Suddenly, a giant eight-legged shadow looms over us. It is Shelob. All right. So it's just going to be a giant spider. The giant spider shoots down webs at you all, at the two of you. It's like you're being attacked with silly string. My gosh, we don't even have a broom to kill this thing. Or a really big newspaper, says Fozzie. You yell. Or a really big newspaper, says Fozzie. You imagine a giant thing of insectide. Then the spider pulls out its stinger. And all goes to black. You awake. You are at the top. You are at the top of the Tower of the Gloats. The Tower of Mordor. You hear laughter. You get up. The ring is gone. But then Fozzie appears. Fozzie! You shout. How did you get here? Really bad jokes, says Fozzie. I sent them gloats running away with their fingers in their ears. Fozzie begins to free you. I know that happened a little fast, but we are kind of running out of time. You'll have to forgive me for this. In the movie, it will be like 10 minutes that all this happens. Free you. But then you notice the ring. You took it! You yell. Well, I thought you were dead, says Fozzie. Let's see what AI does. The Tower of Teeth and Tension. The ring, I whisper, my voice cracking. It's gone. It's all over. I failed the show. You took it, I yell, my voice sounding higher and sharper than usual. You were waiting for me to fall so you could be the star. You wanted the ring for yourself. Give it back, Fozzie. It's mine. Kermit, no. I thought the giant spider had finished you. I couldn't let the gloats take it. I wanted to keep it safe for you. I look at Fozzie's face, the face that has been next to mine through every bad sketch, every technical difficulty, and every mile of this miserable mountain. The ring's influence is like a heavy, cold hand on my brain, telling me to snatch it away. I take a deep breath. Oh, golly, Fozzie, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean that. It's the ring. It's doing something to me. It's heavy. Fozzie holds it out, his hand trembling. It's heavy, Kermit. Really heavy. I don't know how you've carried it this far. I'm just a bear with a tie. I'm not a hero. I take the ring back and the weight returns instantly, making my shoulders slump. I look towards the window. We are at the top of the tower, and just outside, the jagged, fiery peaks of Mount Doom is so close I can feel the heat on my face. We have to go, Fozzie. Animal is still out there somewhere, and the eye is distracted by Rowlf's big performance at the gate. This is our only chance. I'm with you, Kermit, to the end. The two of you begin heading through Mordor, disguising yourself as gloats. Soon enough, you arrive at the mountain. You begin the treacherous climb. But the weight of the wing, the weight of the ring, is too much for you to bear. Or even the other bear. For you to bear. You don't even think the bear can handle it. You fall down. Fozzie, you croak. I can't do it. I'm not the strong person you think I am. I know you thought I was brave all these years. I've always been freaking out. Fozzie, I'm going to die. I can't do it. I'm going to die. The ring is too much for me. For me. Fozzie looks down at you. What does he say to inspire you? To inspire you forward. All right, let's see what AI says. It's no use, Fozzie. I'm just a prog. I'm meant for lily pads and banjos, not fires and shadows. I've been pretending to be the leader, but inside, I'm just terrified. Fozzie stands over me. He doesn't pull out a rubber chicken. He doesn't tell a pun. He reaches down and scoops up his hat, placing it firmly on his head with a look of absolute, unwavering loyalty. Kermit, look at me. You've been carrying that heavy thing for miles. You've been carrying the hopes of every Muppet from here to the Shire. And maybe I can't carry the ring anymore. But I can carry you. I can't be the ring bearer, Kermit, but I can be the bear bearer. We're going to that crack in the rock, and we're going to finish this show together. I don't care about the scripts, and I don't care about the reviews. I care about my best friend. With a grunt of effort, Fozzie hoists me onto his broad, fuzzy shoulders. I clutch his neck, the ring swinging like a pendulum of malice between us. Every step Fozzie takes is a struggle against gravity and exhaustion, but he doesn't stop. As he climbs, Fozzie starts to hum, not a funeral march, but a quiet, shaky version of the Rainbow Connection. We reach the summit. I stand on the edge, the ring held out over the abyss. My hand is shaking. The ring is whispering to me, promising me things. A show that never gets cancelled, and a world where nobody ever heckles from the balcony. Do it, Kermit! Fozzie yells over the roar of the lava. Throw it in! For us! I look at the ring. I look at the fire. But just as I prepare to let go, a manic shadow leaps from the ceiling. It's Animal, and he looks ready to bite my flippers off to get his precious back. So, one moment I really thought was genius of Peter Jackson at the end was he was originally going to have Golem and Frodo fight, and Frodo kills Golem. He's going to throw him off. But then Peter Jackson was like, no, wait a minute. This isn't Tolkien. Tolkien wouldn't have his main character murder someone. And they really thought about it for a long time because the way it happened in the original book, even though I guess it does work, is completely stupid. And no, it's just completely stupid. It'd be like if Golem slipped on a banana peel and fell into Mount Doom. Peter Jackson might have done better in this scene. You had them kind of tussling with each other. It's a little bit of a fight, but Frodo's not trying to kill Golem. And then they accidentally both fall in from the struggle. It makes sense. It works. It's more epic. It's a more serious tone. I think this is the way it should have been done in the book. I think it was genius. I am so in love with it. It doesn't affect the morality of the story. It is probably, it might even be my favorite moment of the trilogy for them to do something like this. Oh, geez, we're at 5%. This thing is supposed to be charging, too, is what stinks. All right, we're going to have to try and finish here. How many minutes do I even have? It's charging. I don't know. This thing is bad. I'm being honest with you all, though. You and Animal tussle on the edge of the cliff. But finally, Animal slips on a banana peel. We'll just do the banana peel ending, though. Even though I said I liked Peter Jackson's version better, I will admit that Tolkien's is funny for this particular scene, so we'll work it. He begins flying around the room. Soon enough, he's at the end of the cliff. The ring falls out of his hands, and he continues sliding on the banana skin. Finally, the ring is destroyed. It falls into the hot lava. You and Fozzie run out. Animal is still sliding around on the banana peel down the mountain. It's going to be a long time he's sliding down on that banana peel. The two of you stand as the whole world turns to fire. You are sure you will die. I'm glad you're with me. Fozzie, says Kermit, here at the end of all things, and you close your eyes. Then you awake. You hear honking. You look up, and to your amazement, there is Gonzo and Gandalf on the back of a flying chicken. Look, says Gonzo. Camilla's back. And she's brought her chicken friends. Fozzie looks up at them. Boy, you can really tell there's a lot of drugs in these chickens these days. Look how huge they are. That one's practically muscular, and then you just get this image of this big muscular chicken with this just these big boobs. Sorry. Okay, there we go. Let's see what AI says. The Great Poultry Rescue. I like it. Doing okay. I blink my eyes open. The orange glaze of the lava replaced by the bright, blinding blue of the sky. The air no longer tastes like ash and failure. It smells like feathers. Kermit! Kermit, look! Fozzie says. We're flying! It's like a dream! I told you she'd come through! The chickens, the eagles were busy doing a documentary for the Nature Channel, so Camilla called in some favors. It's the Great Muppet Airlift! I look down. The black gate has collapsed like a poorly built set. The Eye of Sauron is gone. And we head down to Gondor. The chickens bring us down gently into the courtyard of the White City. The entire fellowship is there waiting for us. Rowlf, Dr. Teeth, Honeydew and Beaker, Gandalf walks up to me and Fozzie. Well, Kermit? Well, Fozzie? The ring is gone. I believe it's time for the curtain fall. We did it, Fozzie! We really did it! Yeah, but Kermit, next time, can we just do a musical? My feet are killing me. I don't get that joke. Oh, no, we're not doing credits yet. We still got like 20 endings to go through. We still got like... Yeah, we can't. Rowlf is declared king. he stands before the group of you, swearing that you should bow down to no one. Everyone is there. Big Bird, the Cookie Monster, who has switched sides, and then Sam the Eagle, who runs up, smelling distinctly of fish. "I'm all right," he says. "I'm all right," he says. My God. Yeah, my God. My God. This has been one epic journey. Walter has fallen in love with Eowyn. The two of them are making out, because there's nothing funnier than a human being making out with a puppet. Making out. And then Rowlf walks up to Janice. Janice, he says, "I think I love you." She smiles at him. "About time, love child. You big, wet-nosed boy." I don't know. She says. The two of them begin making out. All is happy. And yet, you can still feel the ring. It's gone, but the weight is still there. The group of you head home. You notice Animal, who is still slipping on the banana peel. Yelling out, "Animal!" Okay, sorry. Oh my gosh, we're only on 2%. Okay, yeah, all right. The end. All right, the screen fades to black. "Well, that was a beautiful ending," Waldorf says, dabbing his eyes with a handkerchief. "It was?" Statler asked. "Yes, because it means the movie's finally over." Ho, 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 ho! The screen fade. This thing, AI is really wanting this to end. And to be honest, we are very low on battery. So I think we will end it. I will say that Miss Piggy does arrive. And her opinion is that and at the end of the credit scenes, here's what we're going to do. At end of credit scenes, after Kermit and Fozzie, after Kermit has gone to the Grey Haven, Miss Piggy shows up. Angry she wasn't in more of the movie. Which, to be fair, Miss Piggy will sometimes not be in a lot of the movies. Like The Christmas Carol, she's not in for very long. Treasure Island, she's not in. Like, I know you all are probably disappointed Miss Piggy wasn't more a part of this, but it's not that unusual, actually. In most of those movies of the novel adaptions, maybe even with the Wizard of Oz one, I think. I haven't watched that one yet, but from what I've heard, she's not really in it that much. That is nothing new. Usually with these things, some character is going to get sidelined. And even Kermit, like Kermit in The Christmas Carol, he's not in it that much. So that's to be expected. But angry she wasn't in more of the movie, although very glad she got to be a princess. Then she realizes all the girls in this movie are princesses. But Kermit does mention that she is a queen, really, which she really likes. Moi, a queen, she says. And then she starts talking about their next role. The Ring of Powers, which she will be the star of. And then the movie ends. The end. That's just an after credit scene, so don't take it too seriously. Kermit does indeed go to the Grey Haven and take away the burden of the ring, and Fozzie ends up with, I don't know, somebody, some girl bear. But that is all. So this one was actually shorter than most of them. And I'm so glad you all joined me for this. Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year's. I love the Muppets. I love the Lord of the Rings. I was so glad to be able to do this. This has been such a fun journey. I don't regret it all. In fact, I'm going to say it. This is the greatest thing I have ever done in my entire life. This is the greatest thing I've ever done for the human race. I mean, I could have had a kid or got married or something, but no, I think this was my true accomplishment in life. The Muppets, Lord of the Rings. I feel like that is something I'm truly proud of. I feel like I've done a lot for the world. But again, if I don't see you all, I hope to do at least some goodbye video for you all. But if not, Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas. It's been a great year, and it's been a lot of fun with you all. I'm so glad to be doing this. And I can't wait to see you all in 2026. And one more episode, so don't worry. Take care. 2026 is coming!